Georgia is a great team. I agree, but coaching staff plays a part of it. UGA defense is overrated. I disagree with that, sir. You're just playing against a really well-prepared defensive minded team. Shane, thanks for the super chat, sir. He says Kirby may be a great coach, but not getting another quarterback ready is very questionable. I absolutely agree. And we've seen this previously out of Kirby Smart. There seems to be some real problems with picking a proper quarterback. Zero Cool says, we got this, Dog Nation. It's not over yet. No, it's certainly not over yet. It is likely that Georgia will still be in the college football playoff. However, with this kind of performance, it's very upsetting and frustrating. Georgia didn't score any points in the third quarter. If Georgia would have picked up a touchdown there, it would have been a little more respectable. But, a 17-point loss, and you're supposed to be the number one team in the nation. Georgia gave up more points to Alabama than I think they had in any 4 or 5 games combined. So absolutely ridiculous. Congratulations to Alabama for winning the SEC championship. Yeah. Kirby is too stubborn. I can agree with that statement. What's good, BDB? Not much DSA. Really appreciate you guys being on here. We're simulcasting this on my channel, on the Voice of College Football SEC, and Voice of College Football on Georgia. So go over and subscribe to the Voice of College Football, Mark Rogers. You can just type in Mark Rogers TV in the search bar, and you can find him. Please hit the like button, the subscribe button, and the share button. Really appreciate you guys helping us out. Obviously, very devastating to Georgia fans. Georgia really wanted to win this year, and it's not over yet. But you gotta look at this game and go, unacceptable. Unacceptable. No pass rush at all. John Gibson is absolutely right. I don't even know that there was any sacks. Let me look at team stats or box score, excuse me. Let's see. Georgia rushing. James Cook had 38 yards, which was not a ton. George Pickens caught 2 passes for 41 yards. He was averaging 20 yards a catch, but we only threw the ball to him like twice. Brock Bowers had a monster game, 10 receptions, 139 yards. Jameson Williams had 7 receptions for 184 yards. See the difference here. John Mechie had a pretty good game, 6 receptions for 97 yards. Slade Bolden, he did well. The rushing game, Brian Robinson Jr., which, even though the guy was injured, he had 16 carries. So the guy played with a lot of heart. Let me see if I can find. I absolutely hate that ESPN does that. I'm looking at let's get the team stats maybe. Let's see if I can find it here. Nope, I don't see it. I don't see sacks. I was trying to find the sack number. I don't think Georgia sacked the quarterback even one time. You have to have a 5-star quarterback to beat Nick Saban. You're not going to beat Saban with an average quarterback. I agree. I think that's pretty apparent. Georgia had plenty of opportunity to win this game. We have 5-star quarterbacks on the roster, a 5-star quarterback on the bench, one of the highest rated quarterbacks in the nation, who has thrown for over 400 yards before and had a high completions percentage doing it. And who do we play? Stetson Bennett. And once again, Stetson Bennett struggled and fell apart. If you go back to whenever there was a game, I think it was last year, Stetson Bennett was out there struggling. They put JT Daniels in. Offense that starts running like a well-oiled machine immediately. Don't understand why we didn't put him in. What up, Brett? Good game. See y'all again. Definitely Tim First. We will certainly see you guys again soon. I think we had 0 sacks on Bryce, which makes no sense. That tells me that our defense was woefully ill-prepared. Antoine Hicks says, why should Becker Vandegrift stick around for this? With Gunnar Stockton coming in, how does anyone trust Kirby to pick the right guy? Well, I think if the only guys you have on the team are 5-star guys, eventually you got to play a 5-star guy, right? Oh, man, this is failure of, in my opinion, of epic proportion. Kirby Smart certainly had an opportunity here to play a better quarterback earlier in the season. And people kept getting on the Stetson Bennett train, and I'm inclined to believe it's the same people that were on the Jake Fromm train. Jake Fromm, good quarterback. Justin Fields, better. Stetson Bennett, good quarterback. JT Daniels, better. And if you're going to beat elite teams, you got to have an elite quarterback. Look at what Bryce Young did tonight. Bryce Young took his team, and I'll even pull the stat real quick. Let me see it. Let's see. He threw for right at 60% tonight, but when he needed to convert, he converted. The third down efficiency, 7 for 14, and throws for, he threw for 421 yards. 421 yards passing. I mean, they did everything he needed to do. Do you think that sealed Bryce for the Heisman? It should. I mean, when you beat the number one team in the nation, you almost double them up on points. You embarrass them on national television. Absolutely. Kirby needs to be fired. No, that's not true. Yeah, let's be careful with the profanity and all the other stuff like that, guys. The Sparky Show says, "Bah ha 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 ha, Roll Tide. I told at Big Dog Brett last week he better be careful talking smack about Bama. Never bet against Bama Saban." Yeah, whatever. BGPO says, "I take Bama on the money line. Thanks for a super chat, sir. Much appreciated." Bama just has our number. Apparently, I would tend to agree with that. This particular game, Georgia should have been much better prepared than what we see. Can't say Georgia's overrated when they held everybody to 6.9 points per game throughout the entire season. That is an indication of repeated performance. Overrated would be having a hit or miss schedule and then be ranked highly and then get blown out, like you saw with Oregon. That is what overrated is, sir. I know why Saban was so happy after winning the fourth overtime game with Auburn. He knew he got Kirby in the pocket. You know what? Some of us wonder. Brett talking smack wasn't the reason UJ lost this game. That is correct. Bama is elite, and Georgia is just great. I would say Georgia's an elite team. I would still say Georgia's an elite team.